Today we begin a new series about Neville Goddard's teachings, where we aim to explain in short videos important passages from Neville's books or lectures. We thought this would be an easier way for all of us to understand the true meaning of his teachings by examining one wisdom pearl at a time. Studying them carefully and patiently will lead us to true revelations that will improve our relationships, health, wealth, faith, in a word, our life. In this episode, we will analyze a short excerpt from the book At Your Command, written by Neville in 1939, where he talks about decreeing and manifesting our desires through prayer. To keep this video as short as possible and to focus on explaining the meaning of this quote, we shall not read it here. You may find the excerpt pinned in the comments below this video, or you can read it in the video. So, in this book, Neville talks for the first time about the principle of expression, according to which we all have the power to manifest reality through our thoughts, beliefs, and imagination. Essentially, it suggests that what we consistently think about and believe in will shape our external reality. Goddard says that by consciously controlling our thoughts and aligning them with our desires, we can express or bring these desires into our physical experience. To ensure that anyone who watches this episode and all videos about Neville's work understands the foundation on which the great Goddard built his teachings, we will make the following clarifications. God is not external to us, but is our consciousness, and represents the divine and creative forces existing in each of us. Through our ability to imagine and believe, we can manifest anything we desire. When we truly understand this idea, we will understand the essence of God, which is the I Am, meaning the pure consciousness of being within us. Jesus is our imagination taken to its maximum potential, which is actually the power of God within us. That is that state of high consciousness, and we only manifest the state of consciousness with which we identify. To manifest, we should elevate our imagination to the level of our true essence, understanding what our perception about ourselves is. Therefore, whatever we envision for ourselves, by invoking our divine nature, our I Am presence becomes the foundation of our self-identity. In fact, I Am is the pure consciousness of being, which is God, who can express all the riches He is prepared to offer to us only through our consciousness and imagination. When we imagine and identify ourselves with what we imagine, God will express through us, bringing into our physical plane the fulfilled desire. In other words, the I Am equates to pure beingness or consciousness, which is synonymous with God. This divine essence within us has the capability to manifest all forms of abundance it's poised to bestow upon us, utilizing our consciousness and imagination. By vividly imagining and fully identifying ourselves with our visions, we allow this divine force to work through us, materializing our desired outcomes into our physical reality. Every manifestation process represents basically a prayer. This is well defined by Goddard, and the principle is the same whenever we want to bring something into our physical reality. Practically, the fragment we are discussing today represents a step-by-step praying process, which can then be used as a template on a larger scale for our entire existence. Don't forget to understand the explanations at the beginning of the video, and you will more easily understand what follows. The first and most important step is to understand that our consciousness and our imagination are the only existing creative forces. These principles are shown to us when Neville says, "In the awareness of being, all things are possible." From here emerges the clear idea, once again and again emphasized by Goddard, in all his books and public appearances, that God is not outside us but our pure consciousness, the divine force of imagination residing within each of us. So the key takeaway here, as the first step in prayer or manifestation, is the profound power of self-awareness and the deliberate cultivation of our internal state. To manifest, start by nurturing a deep, unwavering belief in the possibility of your desires becoming your reality. The second step is to decide, as Goddard says, to decree what we truly desire. You shall decree a thing, and it shall come to pass. It's about affirming our desires with conviction. It's not only simply wishing for something, but declaring it with the certainty that it will materialize. This process involves rising in consciousness to fully embody the reality of what we desire, adopting it as an unquestionable part of our existence even before it physically manifests. Furthermore, the quote uses the metaphor of being lifted up, which symbolizes the elevation of our consciousness. To manifest our desires, we must lift our consciousness to a state where the desired outcome feels natural and expected. So, the third step of the manifestation process is tuning into a frequency where our desires exist and aligning ourselves with that reality. Step 4 is about recognizing and embodying the belief that we and the creative force of our desires are one. No man comes unto me save the Father within me draws him, speaks to the magnetic power of our aligned consciousness. It teaches us that manifestation is not about reaching outwards, but drawing inwards, aligning so closely with our desire that it's drawn towards us. The next step is about shifting our focus towards what we desire, or you must be born again. This isn't about denial of our current circumstances, but choosing to dwell in the reality of our desires, and initiating the shift from one state of being to another. You cannot serve two masters. Therefore, to take your attention from one state of consciousness and place it upon another is to die to one and live to the other. 6 is about being convinced about who we are and what we are capable of attracting. When we pray, we should affirm our desires, recognizing ourselves as already having what we seek. This alignment is crucial for manifestation, as it shifts prayer from begging to becoming, from asking to affirming. The advice to shut the door is a metaphor for excluding doubt and fully immersing in the desired state of consciousness. It's about holding the conviction of our desire so firmly that no contrary evidence can sway us. This mental and emotional closure against doubt ensures that our consciousness remains pure and focused on our aspirations. Finally, we do not have to question the how or when our desires will manifest. This resigning of control over the process allows us to orchestrate the manifestation in ways that might surpass our understanding. Trusting the process is a key aspect of manifestation, acknowledging that the pathway to realization is often beyond our immediate comprehension. So, to conclude today's episode, we must start acknowledging our current state of being, what we are conscious of, for a swift manifestation process. This is the most important step toward manifesting our desires because we manifest in our material world everything that defines us with what we identify ourselves. The simplest example given by Goddard: if you identify with poverty, you cannot pray for wealth because you will attract poverty into your life. To crystallize all we have explained in this video, try this daily exercise. Do you know what defines you now? What are your dominant thoughts and what do you identify with now? Analyze yourself and you will have a big surprise. After identifying the good parts and the less good ones, try to transform the negative ones and start the process of manifestation, having this new belief about yourself. Apply the steps explained above and watch the miracles. Until next time, peace in your soul.